let me tell you the story of Captain Selene Marr, the woman who chained the dark at Gallowsreach, and in so doing, chained herself to despair. Once, she was a paladin of devotion, a beacon of hope as bright as the moonlight she swore her faith upon. In her shining silver armor, she swore to serve justice and protect the innocent. But now she patrols the jagged walls of Gallowsreach in blackened plate, her stance weary but unyielding, as if carrying the weight of the cursed beacon itself. Her sword no longer gleams, it devours light like obsidian. Binding runes crawl across her gauntlets and neck, glowing a sickly red, reminders of the pact she struck in secret years ago. The Beacon of Holdfast burns atop the war tower at the heart of Gallowsreach. Its light is soothing, golden, a bastion against the void that creeps across the ashen marches. Without it, the fog would overrun the keep. Its light promises warm hearths, safe roads, and bustling markets, but that safety carries a whispered price. For the beacon does not light itself, it burns on living will. And when Selene first accepted its flame, fresh from a victory against the abyss, she gave her own devout will as its anchor. But it wasn't enough. As the beacon grew hungrier, more, shall we say, creative sacrifices became necessary. This city endures because of me, Selene reminds herself often, though doubt lingers in her tone. Every law I enforce, every sentence I pass, spares hundreds from the things slithering just beyond these walls. Her words are fierce, but beneath them, a tremor of guilt. The people whisper, though few dare openly rebel. Penance laws ensure it. Those who confess sins, real or imaginary, can trade years of their will to the beacon in exchange for clemency. Families volunteer their black sheep. Neighbors point fingers with shaking hands. Many vanish, some walk willingly, tears streaming but heads high. And Selene presides over it all, a figure both feared and pitied. Then, one jagged morning, 3 outsiders stride into Gallowsreach. They come not with swords raised, though all 3 are armed, but with questions. Torin, the young paladin, fresh-faced but bold, his armor still untarnished by the horrors of compromise. He clings to the principles Selene once embraced fully: mercy, honor, the absolute sanctity of life. Atop his shield, the sigil of Helm glows faintly, as if rejecting the darkness swirling above. Isla, the human cleric of the goddess Ilmater, a woman whose eyes brim with torment. She has seen the wreckage of sacrifice, far beyond Gallowsreach. Yet still, she clutches her prayer beads like chains. Everything about her posture begs, "Tell me this suffering is worth it. Please." And finally Merrick, the thief, rough-hewn and clad in patchwork leathers. His sneer hides desperation. He has come for one reason only: his sister, who was taken to feed the beacon 3 nights past. "I don't give a damn about cities or virtues," he growls, "but I'll burn this cursed ruin to the dirt if it means finding her." Together, the 3 demand audience with Captain Marr, and they are granted it, not out of charity, but because Selene is nothing if not pragmatic. As the thick wooden doors of her tower creak open, Torin's righteous anger burns brightest. "This isn't justice," he exclaims. His voice echoes in the cold chamber. "Trading lives for light. It's monstrous. You're not their savior, Marr. You're their jailer." Selene fixes him with a flat stare, her eyes shadowed but sharp. "This city sleeps safe every night because of those trades. You've seen what the void does to those it devours. Tell me, would you have it roam free? Would you have those sleeping children become hollow things that stalk the moors?" Isla steps forward, her voice quieter but no less cutting. "There must be another way. Shared penance, perhaps. We could spread its burden across willing souls, not just thrust it on the desperate or condemned." She hesitates, wringing her hands. No power should thrive on coercion. One cannot build salvation through destruction. Selene's jaw tightens. Her gauntleted hand flexes once, twice, the runes on her wrist glimmering faintly. "You think I haven't tried? You think I made this bargain with ease?" There's a rawness to her voice now, and for a moment, her carefully guarded composure cracks. When I first lit the beacon, I gave everything I was to keep the dark at bay. When it demanded more, I begged the gods for aid. Silence. All I heard was silence. She rises from her great iron-bound chair and approaches the trio. "I'll ask plainly," she says. "What would you sacrifice, if not the condemned, if not the unwanted, the guilty, the willing? Would you offer yourself, noble paladin of Helm? Or perhaps you, priestess with your mumbled prayers? What about you, thief?" Merrick spits on the cold flagstones. "Take me if you must, but before I go, I'm tearing that damn beacon down." Thus begins a night of moral battle, as fierce as any blade-to-blade clash. The trio infiltrates the foundations of the beacon, hidden catacombs where walls hum faintly with the resonance of sustained will. There they discover the truth. The beacon does not merely use the will of its sacrifices, it keeps fragments, forever tethered, to glow long after their givers die or decay. Voices still murmur faintly in the light's ether. Merrick's sister's voice among them. They confront Selene again, this time armed with damning knowledge. Isla pleads for a shared ritual, one that might, with luck and faith, shift the beacon's fuel source from coerced sacrifice to voluntary vigilance, shared equally among Gallowsreach's people. But such a ritual would mean breaking Selene's original pact, unbinding her soul from the lantern she anchors. She could die, or worse, lose what remains of her purpose. "And if I refuse?" Selene murmurs. "Then the choice is yours," Torrin says, steel in his voice. "But this ends tonight." Selene watches them, her gauntlets clenching, her breath slow but unsteady. "Do you think me a villain, Torrin? Do you think I enjoy this?" Torrin softens, but only slightly. "I think you believed you were saving them, and maybe you were. But that doesn't mean you still are." Finally, the moment comes. As the void edges closer beyond the keep, as the wind howls and citizens stare in dread from their homes, a choice is made. Perhaps Selene steps back, releasing her iron grip at long last, and allows the trio their ritual. The beacon flickers, surges, and dims. The void creeps closer, but the city stands together, terrified but resolved. Or perhaps, enraged by their hubris, she draws her cursed blade and fights them. One final clash of will and steel. Perhaps the beacon is shattered in that battle, and the city learns to rebuild in lightless freedom. Or perhaps Selene gives herself fully, burning the last of her being to hold the beacon alight, a sacrifice no one will ever remember. That is why her tale is told, to remind us that light and darkness cannot live apart, and every flame casts shadows. What would you have done in her place? Suggest your own tale, and perhaps it will be spoken of here at the tavern table. And remember, subscribe and like if these stories brighten your nights or haunt your dreams.